Welcome everyone to another powerful episode of our podcast. Today we are diving into one of the most controversial and uncomfortable questions of our digital age. Data privacy is dead. How AI knows everything about you. Every time we use a smartphone, scroll social media, or even spark near smart device, we generate data, but the real question is where does all this data go and who is actually using it? Is privacy still real in the age of AI or has it become just an illusion? To explore this deeply, we are joined by a very special guest, Mahbub Alam, Chairman of Smart Avatar BB, an expert in AI driving digital system and emerging technologies. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, my first question is, let's start from the basics. How exactly do mobile apps and platform collect data from us even when we are not actively sharing it? What's opinion on it?
So the mobile phone provides a lot of services to you. So
Yeah,
by default, the mic is on. Okay. Even
yeah,
though you're not making a call, the mic is on. And a lot of people are using Apple phone, so they know there's Siri, or if they're using Android, then there's a Google Assistant. So that's always there to help you. Most people think, oh, it's a very nice thing to help you, and it is true. It helps you. Because if you say, hey Siri, tell me, or hey Google, tell me the what's the temperature today, or what's the news today, it will just, you don't have to type it. You just talk to it and it tells you. So that means the mic is all on the time. It is listening to everything. But we think only when we say, hey Siri, it is waking up. Actually, it is listening in silent, but it doesn't let you know. Only when you say, hey Siri, then the Apple phone wakes up. At least they shows us that it's waked up, but it's always awake. It's listening to everything. And this sort of informations are very, very valuable for ad industry, because the ad industry is all thriving on making sure that they can deliver the best ad to the best person. So how do they do that? So they are passively listening to the conversation and picking up these keywords. And then suddenly you open the phone and you want to go somewhere and you see, oh, wow, what a coincidence. I was looking for a car and suddenly car advertisements are coming. Or someone is
yeah.
looking to go to a restaurant and suddenly restaurants, top restaurants are coming. So there's a lot of listening happening over there. And these are very, very important to you. And the other thing is also people are openly using the benefit of AI. And so they use Chat GPT, they use Gemini and Claude and Grok. And so obviously when you're using those frontier models, the cloud models, all those data are collected, and all your information, cloud storage, whether it is your Gmail, Google Drive, even though they say it's private and it's for you, but they're actually harnessing those data to train their AI model so that they can provide better value. But your data is not secured. You just hope that they are not going to use it to blackmail you. So that's how it is. But to some extent, your question was that AI data privacy um, is we have strict laws around AI data privacy, which says that don't retain the data more than you need to provide a service. For example, in navigation, you need to collect your information to provide the location. After that is done, those data should not be stored forever to say how did you go. It should be deleted. It should be taken out of the system. That's what the law says. But who is going to go and check all those company? Who is going and monitoring? Which agency is going and monitoring the private? These are all private companies, big corporations. So we hope that if we find out ever, then we will punish them with lawsuits and fine. That's the only mechanism we have today.
Thank you, sir. And now my next question is very important topic. And how is this data used to train AI system? And I want to know, once data is collected, how does it become part of AI system and machine learning models? And what's your opinion on that about?
Yeah. So the whole idea of large
Yeah,
language model is actually it has actually ingested all the data from the internet, and it has learned, and because it has learned so much, that's why whenever you want to ask something, it knows what how to write the next words or next sentences. It can make, you can ask about any topic. It doesn't really have a brain. It just knows uh, the the correlation of what is the probability of the next word to be and the next word will be, and that's how it's kind of, and it understand, has it seen something like this. So it uses a lot of mathematical model in order to pull it together. So that's why whatever you are doing on emails or everything, it is very important to get those information so that the model understands what is the sequence, because you may write in your own language. It's not only English. You are writing in different language. So the model is evolving with the human all the time because it's seeing the probability of this. So that means we are training the model. The moment we don't train, we don't give anything, there is no new model coming out. So we call about 200 billion parameters or 1 trillion parameters. What are those? They are learning from us. So it needs to be continuously fed. The beast AI machine has to be fed with new data in order for it to learn the new things so that it can stay current with the time. Otherwise, you have a local model. A good example is a local model. Local model is a model that you can download on your laptop and it does not get any trained. So if it is not trained, then it is stuck. So its knowledge is stuck. But the frontier model, all these cloud models that are there, online model, they are continuously evolving. So they are absolutely hungry about new books, new data, new article, all those things that you are doing online. All are being taken into and indexed and also used to improve the model. So if you
Yeah.
give an
Okay.
if you give an
Yes.
engineering document, if you give an engineering document, if you give it a plan, it is also learning from that, and it is also giving input from other people's learning into you. So it's a continuous, it's a closed loop process, almost like it's learning, improving, and then you're using it, and then you are asking it, and it's learning again, and everybody, it's learning from everybody. It's called federated learning. So it's learning from everybody, and then it actually helps. To you, it looks like magic because it learned from all the other people.
Thank you for your nice explanation. Now, my next question is, are social media platforms and smartphones silently monitoring us? What do you think on it?
I don't think it's silently monitoring. It's monitoring,
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah, yeah,
monitoring
yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I know people don't know that, but it is monitoring very much. Um, First of all, if you take a famous platform like TikTok, okay, very famous. So, for example, one thing is TikTok is banned in certain countries, so it knows which country you are in. If you come into American territory, in US territory, then TikTok has to go to American server. So it's a different company than the TikTok outside because it's partly owned by US. So obviously it knows your IP address. Even if you do VPN, it knows it. So obviously it's monitoring your IP address and your location, right? That's for
Sir,
sure.
sir, especially smartphones silently monitoring us. Smartphones especially indicate.
Yeah, a smartphone is all the time monitoring you, all the
Yeah,
time monitoring you because you have all this, even the gaming app, simple gaming app, they
yeah.
are collecting your location and they're collecting your internet. And with that, there was a lot of news that a lot of the spy agencies actually create amazing game so that people are playing games. And I don't want to mention any name game, but popular games, very simple games. People love it. It's free. So people play with, but it's actually collecting all those data of where you are, what it is. And you might think, okay, I'm not a criminal, but so that everybody is using it, but they know how to correlate a number with the IP address with a game. So they know for the people they are interested, they can track very clearly. They can track anybody, but they're not interested in all of us because you and I don't do anything special from their perspective. But for the spy agency, that the people they want to track, they can do that. It's listening, it's reading your text and all the search engines. It's also doing your GPS and also your Bluetooth. And sometimes it has so deep. Sometimes you think you turn off all the radio. Still, then there's some minor tracking going on.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable opinion. Now, my question is like controversial. Can you share real examples where personal data or AI driving insight have been misused? And what do you think about it?
Um, I used to have so of course it's not good. First of all, I used to have um, now almost I almost forgot that Amazon Echo, which was a box that you could just talk to it. Hey Amazon, play this music, play that music, and whenever you say Hey Amazon, it wakes up in the house, right? And
Yeah,
it does everything. But it was listening all the thing. And one of the so we also had Google Assistant, and there's also on your phone you have Siri. So even now, if I say Hey Siri, this phone will wake up. My iPad is going to wake up. My Mac is going to wake up. So you have to turn each one off. But the fact that there has been some incidents where basically some crime was committed, and then the people on the other side were felt really that they should go and inform the law enforcement agency uh, because those informations are collected. They thought, okay, they can solve a crime. So that's how we found out also that some that these voice assistants are always mics are always on. So that's one example. So I showed you a positive example of where um, a crime was committed, and the company that was providing those kind of service that you are using. I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to defame any company. But the employee on the other side thought it was important enough, such a big crime, that they went and told the law enforcement. And then later the news came around and said, how did they come to know? And that's how the news came out. Okay, they are using this they are always listening. So that's the good news. The bad news is you see on the news, especially in the war, that those are going on. They're able to track the key people, and they're able to hack and figure out their location. So there are enough bad examples of that.
thank you, sir. This is my last question. Can users truly protect their privacy in today's AI driving world? And what do you think on it about the topic?
If you can the user protect? Of course, you can protect. It's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. Almost like impossible, actually, because every device is connected device in some way or other. So you see in the spy movies, okay, you will see that they don't use sophisticated phones. They use really old style phone which doesn't have GPS. It just has a radio button of calling, and after calling, they just discard the phone. Okay, so they are the feature phones, right? Like they're the button two that you press, right? Small, flippable. You see in James Bond movie and everything, you see very old type of phones, because those doesn't have many radio technology. They don't have GPS, they don't have Bluetooth, they don't have all those sort of things. So there is a very few things that can monitor. It doesn't even have Wi-Fi sometimes. It just has a cellular connection, mobile connection, and they make few calls, and after that they discard it. So then you only know the last location. They don't know where the person went. So but you have to work very hard to protect your digital footprint. Your digital footprint is tracked by your financial. Every time you make a bank transaction, your credit card transaction, anytime you make a payment, your footprint is captured. Every time you go through the street, the cameras are there, so they are also tracking on things. Your license plates are being tracked. Don't think that the cameras on the road are only for traffic light. They're monitoring all the license plate on registration, and that's why when a crime happens, the police knows whether a certain vehicle with the license plate has left certain area or not, because they can look into the database. So it is extremely difficult to be invisible. That means your lifestyle has to change. And I don't think that is the way we want. We do want this. We do want the facilities of navigation and delivery, like Uber. We love Ubers and Lyft, or Waymo, that it comes and picks you up at home. Well, I have to display. I have to tell who I am and where I am. So there are a lot of positive things. And if a 911 or 112 emergency call happens, they can pinpoint where you are, because you may not know, but they can look at the location and they can send the emergency responder or the first responders to you. So there are a lot of positive applications. So I think a life without sharing information is not going to be a good one. But what we have to do is, how do we prevent? We have laws and regulation. It can be made much better. How do you make sure you only use the data only for the moment that you need, and after that you don't use it? So there are, for medical we have HIPAA compliance. For European Union we have the GDPR, General Data Privacy Regulation, I think. And then you have CCPA, California Consumer Act. These are all talking about how to use this data, but for a short period of time to provide the service and then discard those data. So the world is that is privacy is not a should not be treated like a black and white. If you give your privacy for a service,
Yes, sir.
that could be great, but you want to make sure those data are not used again for any other purpose.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful opinion. Okay, today's conversation shows us a very important reality. Privacy is no longer just about secrecy, it is about control. In a world driven by AI and data, the real power lies in understanding how your information is being used. Thank you for staying with us in this deep and eye-opening discussion. Okay, bye.